Hey guys, these are 3 Russwins that one Pizarro sent to me in a care package. And rather than pick them one at a time, they don't have keys. I thought I'd just go ahead and we try to pick them all at once, if the camera will cooperate and my luck will cooperate. And maybe we can learn a few things about how to pick these things, a couple of techniques. They are notoriously hard to pick. A lot of people have trouble with them, but these are older. There's some wear in them. They have a little bit of slop, so they're going to be just a little bit easier. And you can tell by the wear in the keyway. These probably were in some apartment somewhere and have thousands of cycles on them. Now, you might want to use top of the keyway, and in fact, I started out trying to do that, but if you look closely, the top of the keyway, there's just a small notch. So when you use top of the keyway, the bottom part of your tension wrench kind of obscures your working space, making it really hard to get pin number 1 and pin number 2. And some of these have ball bearings up inside of there. They're hard enough to get your pick positioned on. There's really no sense in trying to make it harder on yourself. So I'm not going to use top of the keyway. Instead, I'm going to use my medium bottom of the keyway, and I'll stick it down in there and it kind of wedges and it doesn't bind up against the housing, which is really what we want to try to avoid. Insofar as the pick, you can use any kind of hook, and in this case I got a decap. You can use just a regular standard hook. It really doesn't matter. There's a good amount of space to work in there, and I like to go down the left side because of the way the keyway is oriented, and I shove it all the way to the rear, and then very, very light tension. Now these locks are, because most of them don't have security pins, they're really good about signaling which one is the binding pin. So a little bit of tension, and I'm just going to feel along looking for the binder. In that case, I didn't find it on the first time through, so I'm going to put it all the way to the back, and I'm going to try it again. Looking for that binding pin. There we go. It was pin number 4, and I got a good false set out of it. And that's, again, it's because of the slop. There's pin 3. Probably heard that click. Pin 2, there we go. And there's pin 1. So that went a little quicker than I thought, but that's what you can kind of expect if you just use really light tension and just feel along for the binder on these things. On the locks, the newer ones have ball bearings in them, and sometimes those of course are to reduce the wear on the key pins. Those are a little bit harder to position your pick on, but it works exactly the same. You just have to be a little more careful in how you place your pick. Okay, again, all the way to the rear. A little bit of tension, and just feel along. That was pin 5. I got a little bit of a false set there. Okay, I got a deep false set. This one might have a security pin in it. This might have been rekeyed. Okay, I got my pick stuck there. Okay, it feels like pin 5 is all the way to the bottom, and this pick has a little bit too much of a curve to slide under him. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to take another one. This is another Peterson hook, but there's not quite as much of an upward turn on it, and my plan is to try to slide under that last pin, and in fact as I'm trying to wedge him under there I can feel a little bit of feedback telling me that he's definitely the one. So there are security pins in this one. Loosen up on my tension a little. Get under there, you devil. Get under there. Okay, I'm under him. I got to bring him back. Release my tension just a hair, and there we go. Second one. Okay, let's really screw up this video and not open the third one. That's usually the way it works out. But anyways, let's play the same game. Do the same medium tension. We're going to put it in there, and because they're all the same style keyway, they all use the same key. They're not all keyed the same, but they use the same key. All the way to the rear. Oops. On the left side, all the way to the rear. A little bit of tension. That was pin 5. That was 3. Of course, this one will not cooperate, probably. Feels like pin 1. And there we go. I couldn't have planned that any better. Anyway, fellas, don't be intimidated by these Russwins. Some of the newer ones have very tight tolerances. They are a little bit harder, but just like these, they have no security pins. Just use very light tension and just feel along looking for that binder and pick him, and then keep moving up and down the stack, and you'll get an open. By the way, these are all, I believe, 5-pinners. I can't tell, but that's all I picked on them, was 5 on each one, so that even made it a little bit easier on me. Anyway, everybody stay safe, and for goodness sake, stay legal.